I think it's really important when you're selecting which questions to include in your lead form that you put a lot of thought into how do I qualify my leads as best as possible without adding too many questions. And so it's really important that you pick the wording carefully and effectively. And I've put here just a few examples of how you can add qualifying questions based off of what type of business you operate. I also want to stress the importance of following up as quickly as you can on leads. So there's this really interesting study that was conducted by Harvard Business Review, and this was back in 2011. I think the principles that applied back in 2011 probably apply even more so now that advertisers are becoming even more comfortable with lead ads and it's becoming regular digital behavior. So, what this study found was number one, many firms do a bad job of getting back to customers on time. So, when they sampled over 1,000 different companies, they found that about 586 of them got back within 0 to 5 minutes, which is good, but a substantial amount of them were taking longer than 24 hours to reply. Now, why is this important? They found that companies that got back to customers within an hour of submitting a lead were as much as 7 times as likely to actually qualify that lead versus only 1 hour later. Now, at the same time, companies that got back to someone within an hour were 60 times more likely to qualify a lead than companies that waited over a day. In my opinion, you're almost throwing away your leads if you wait too long to get back to them. And one of the things that Facebook has done to make it easier to immediately follow up with your leads is they have a bunch of available CRM integrations so that you can connect your lead ads so that as soon as someone submits a lead, it sends that user data directly to your CRM. And you can have, for example, an email automation campaign running so that they immediately receive an email. I'd strongly recommend doing some research into how you can automate your CRM to connect it to Facebook so that as soon as someone submits a lead, they'll receive an email right away. If you want to see the available integrations that Facebook lead ads already have connected, you can find them at this link here. And finally, I want to talk about campaign structures for lead ads. This would be the general campaign structure that I would advise. I'd advise having two campaigns. One of them is a prospecting campaign, one of them is a retargeting campaign. And in your prospecting campaign, in the first ad set, you target people based off of interests and demographics. Then you should have 3 variations of ad underneath that at least. In your second ad set, targeting a lookalike of people who have already submitted leads. This will probably be your best performing ad set. And again, having 3 variations of ads. Then you can build a lookalike off of people who opened your leads. And finally, you can have a larger lookalike, a 3% lookalike, based off of lead submissions, but you can also layer some interests on top of that. And so with this setup here, you have 4 audiences or 4 ad sets constantly competing against one another. And then you have 3 ads underneath each ad set constantly competing for each other. So it's kind of this machine of automation that's constantly optimizing to find you the best people and to deliver them the right message. At the same time, you should have a separate campaign, which is your retargeting campaign. So these are people who have interacted with you in some shape or form, but they haven't submitted a lead yet. So the first ad set will be people who opened your lead but didn't submit it. The second one, if you have a website, you can retarget your website visitors. The third one, if you have an email list and you want to re-engage them with this campaign, you can apply that here, or you could use another custom audience. And then finally, if you're running video ads, you can retarget people who watched 95% or more of your video. I should mention that across all these ad sets, you want to make sure you're excluding your lead submitters because you don't want to inundate them with ads after they've already submitted a lead. But if you follow the best practices we talked about today, and you try to develop a robust campaign structure similar to the one you see here, I'm confident that you'll be giving yourself the best possible chance at delivering a campaign that is getting you your KPIs efficiently and effectively. Thank you.